Okay, hello to all my viewers. Looks like my camera is a little out of focus, maybe. I can't get a little sharper. There we go. Okay. Anyway, as most of you know, can't really tell it too well, but I shattered the screen on my phone a couple weeks ago. Been about 3 weeks now. Uh, was talking to somebody and had it in my hand, and it just slipped out of my hand, I guess, because it next thing I knew, it was on the ground face down. Nothing under it. Perfectly smooth concrete. No rock, no pebble, no nothing. With the case on, gives it a 16th inch between the front of the phone itself and the ground if it lands on its face. And yet it shattered the screen. It sounded like somebody had slapped somebody when it landed. And it didn't even bounce. So that's what's going on with that. Uh, I've been wanting to get away from the iPhone anyway because I don't like it. It was just that's all T-Mobile had at the time. So that's what I got. But anyway, forgot I had a wireless keyboard, decent one, built-in mouse. But anyway, um, I was gonna go to back to my Androids and get the what is it, Note 8 that they've got out now. But because I'm still paying on that phone, they won't let me trade it in. So with glass, the screen broke like it is. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, shoot, I want to get rid of this phone. And I don't know if any of y'all have ever dealt with the Wish app. And I've dealt with it in the past, and it's okay. It's not the best. Their prices are good. Shipping prices are fair, but almost everything ships from China. So anyway, I was on there looking around, just checking it out, and I noticed they had a touchscreen, replacement touchscreen assembly for an iPhone 6. I'm like, let me check this. So I looked for one for the 7 Plus, and they had it. And it was only like $20, $25 plus like $9 extra shipping if you wanted to get here in like 9 days or something like that. It wasn't too much more. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and order it. So I did that, and it finally came in today. And it has the actual glass plus the digitizer display, okay, which is what's behind the glass and allows the touch screen to work. Let's do some changes on the way my computer is set up and drop that down to half screen and move it off to the side. Move the width. What I'm trying to do is get everything into frame on here. Okay, let's see if we can't move that over some. I like this wider computer monitor because everything works, it fits so much better. Okay, there we go. Okay, I can ignore that one. Clear it out. Okay, anyway, um, they sent it in a nice box, you know, not bad, covered up. It was in a, it's in the box, not very thick box or anything. I mean, that's all it is. But they shipped it in wrapped in bubble wrap and the envelope, which I don't like that. But I checked it out and checked it over, and I don't see any damage done to it. Um, Now, something I didn't know, I've never dealt with this before. On the iPhone 6 and its predecessors, the cables were at the top. On the iPhone 7, they put it on the side. So that's kind of different. Um, I've done let everybody know that I'm going to be unavailable on my phone because I have to turn it off to do this. So today we're going to change it. There are special tools that you do have to buy to be able to do this. Okay, really just standard electronics tools for the most part. There is one special one that you'll have to get, and it is a 3-point screwdriver from, I actually got mine off of eBay. Let's see, which one is it? Yeah, it's this one. I got a complete kit actually. Okay, this is a screwdriver, 3-point. I don't remember what the dimensions are, but then I ordered some other tools that you will need for that. One of the little parts of the little kit is a suction cup. Okay, now there's supposed to be a ring with it for you to wrap around. Okay, there it is. They didn't put it in the suction cup yet, in the hole on it, so I got to take care of that. That's so you can pull your touchscreen up. They give you all sorts of nice little tools to do that with. A guitar pick to act as a spudge, I think they call it. Then they give you this other little thing. It's kind of like the guitar pick, but it has those. Like I said, a couple of little pry tools handy. A little suction cup for you to put on the glass. I ain't gonna be able to use it on this glass. That's just so you don't damage the screen if you're going in there to do something else. You'll need, the kit I got came with a small Phillips screwdriver and a small Torx screwdriver. According to the videos I've watched so far on YouTube, they say a pair of small tip tweezers. I don't have anything that small, so I'm just gonna have to make do with what I've got. But first thing I gotta do is I had to turn the phone off and get it out of its case. And then I've got to find something to, they say you have to take the SIM card out. I don't know why, it doesn't make sense, but I have a messed up iPhone 6 that I was messing around with just to get an idea of how to do this. And I don't see anything small enough, so let's see here. Yes, that'll work. Cut the side of my finger a little while ago, replacing a thermostat for a Tenet. So I'm trying to take it easy on that finger. There we go. You can use the pin for a watch as well on the iPhone 7. Damn it. Went and dropped the pin. Just my luck. That pin was a little bent. And did it fall out? Did it stay? Yeah, it stayed. Okay, good. Anyway, not exactly the easiest to do, to push these, get in there and push at the, are you going to be serious? And of course it didn't work. It's too big of a tip. Let's see here. Okay, I was able to use one of my tools. It just barely fits in there. I have had this phone in this case, and for whatever reason, it is downright nasty looking. But it still works, so. Clean it up a little bit around the opening for that thing. Baby, open up. This is the part I hate when they give you these things like this. I don't like how they do the SIM cards anymore. They don't make no sense. Okay, I'm going to set that in there. I just popped the SIM card out. Okay, now there's a couple of really small screws in the bottom. I can't see them very well, but they're there, and it looks like, yeah, my Torx screwdriver got it out. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera down so y'all can see kind of maybe. Okay, there we go. Now, first one, I should have turned it down, aimed it down a little bit sooner. Okay. Now, this screwdriver tip, or this Torx bit, is not magnetic. I don't know why, but usually they are. That's not going to get up underneath it, I don't think. Nope. Okay, let's see if I can't get this tip underneath there. Dang it. Now it's turning back on. Not always the easiest to get under these screens like this. Okay, we will get the next best tool. Super glue for gluing my cut closed. But a razor knife will do it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now that'll allow me to get my spudge underneath the under the edge of the screen. Then you just kind of work it around. Now it has a good strong adhesive on here, and that's what you're going to be fighting. Now it's tearing up my spudge because the glass is all cracked. Now, I've never seen a phone land that flat in my life until a little while that day that I did that. And of course it messed up the edge of the spudge, but I kind of figured that was going to happen. Jeez, these things are cheap. Pardon my language. Do I have it? Yeah, that's a fair one. Now, one of the things I have to do is transfer things like the camera and home button. And all you do here is you're just going slow to break the adhesive. There we go. Okay. Now, as you can tell, screen is now loose. Took care of that. Okay. Now, there's a shield here, and that's where the touchscreen cables go to. So I've got to move that out of the way. See, that's going to be a small Phillips. Hopefully this one here is small enough. Nope. That Phillips? Looks like it, but I could be wrong. Let's try the small Torx. Well, don't you know what? They give me a stinking... Okay, that's 3-point. Where did my 3-point go? Is that it? Torx. There's my 3-point. There we go. Now, Apple tries to make it so that only their people can work on these iPhones and their computers and all that good stuff. That one's not wanting to come for some reason. Lighting in here is not very good. There we go. Just wasn't applying enough downward force. Never actually had to replace a screen on a phone myself. but if it saves me money, I'm all for it. Now, I just noticed one of these screws is that I took out of there is actually longer by about 2, maybe 3 times, and it's the screw that came out of this one hole. So I have to remember that. Now, let's see. Okay, that's cool. That's the wires. I think they go to the battery, maybe. Now, here's the one of the cables going to the screen, and then the other one is underneath it. So for that, let me grab my tweezers. Oh, come on now. Not exactly the easiest to do. There it goes. Just got to catch it from the edge. Okay, now there's one more cable going here for my home button. Yeah. Okay, they've got a few things on here that have to come loose, but most of it comes loose with the touch screen. So let's see here. Get these 3 screws out here. Not exactly the easiest. I need to take my glasses off. Having bad vision stinks. I can see just fine up close, but when it comes to distance, forget it. There we go. Now all 3 of those screws were exactly the same. Okay. Now that's loose. There we go. Now they use a very strong adhesive on this. I don't have any, so I'm not going to worry about it. I wish I had some, but that stuff didn't come with the kit, and by the time I realized I need it, I didn't have it. So hopefully it'll hold well enough for me to get this thing closed back up. Okay, now, as you can see, I've got to take this loose, and that is going to be your speaker. I've got to take the home button loose, right there. And then I've got to take this metal plate off and put it on the new one. So let's get to work. Move the rest of the phone out of the way. Okay, let's see here. What kind of screws are those? Those are all Phillips. Those are 3 points. Jeez. I'll tell you what, Apple is something else. I mean, they just want you to take everything to them. Your MacBook, your all your Apple laptops, they actually make it so that you can't get the parts for them without buying them off the street used. And that's kind of aggravating. Why should I have to go and do that? So that's why I don't own an Apple laptop. I will always own Windows, the Dell's or something like that. Dell's a pretty good computer. And my aquarium is doing pretty doggone nice. I'm loving it. Oh, um, last night I got myself a Christmas gift of a nice little the Amazon Echo Dot. I am loving it. Okay, so that goes right there. Now, let us see what we got here. Now this is the hard part, because you've got your wiring harness for your speaker right there. And you've got to be gentle with that. But you can't really get much of anything under there to pop it loose. Are you telling me? Don't tell me that shit. Okay. So, they make all this very hard to do. I'm not happy with it. Let's see if I've got something small enough to pop that thing loose with. Okay, looking good so far. They they glue everything down, and you have to work with it gently to get it pulled back up. Okay. Now, why they do it like that, I don't know. Okay. Now, there's lots of stuff here to fight with. Okay, let's see here. Get that back together right. Now, all I really want to do right now is get this thing, these parts, onto here and get it done right. Okay, there's that. Okay, let's see, how was that done? This is a pain in the butt to get done right. See, the interesting thing is, when you look at the YouTube videos, they make it look so easy. But then when you go to actually do it, it's not as easy as it seems. Come on now. Let's see if I can do it with tweezers to get it in place. Come on, get in there. we go. Got that in. Okay, got that in place. Back in. Now, okay, we're looking good so far. Okay, that was for the ambient light pickup. Okay, this here does not want to stay in place right. And that may have been a screw up right there, taking that part loose. Okay, let's see. Lovely. Just lovely. Okay, that was the speaker. That's going to straddle that, so that'll get that into place. Hopefully hold it in place. Okay, so don't hold it in place, damn it. These parts are so small, so sensitive, that you've got to be careful. That is going to stay there, I guess. Leave that there. We'll get some screws in this to hold this in place. And those three are... What the heck fell? Something just shifted on me. 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Is this it? Is it? Yes, and this will go over all that. Okay, I see how it goes. Come on, baby. These magnetic tips don't always help you. And it wasn't the right hole. Come on. Damn it. Okay, now let's see here. There we go. Got that started. The hardest part is getting the screw to stay on the very tip of the screwdriver so you can get it into the right hole. Can't she leave me alone? Okay, I'm back. Aggravating. Okay, this Phillips here that I'm using is a, or no, that's a Y. That's why it's not quite cooperating. Damn it. Where the heck's my Phillips? That's why it wasn't quite cooperating. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe it'll be better now. Yes, it is. Already tell. Oh, come on. What the heck? Huh. That was real weird. Anyway, the old lady decided she wanted to bring me lunch. Okay, that's fine. If I wasn't in the middle of doing my phone. And yes, I kind of snapped at her. I shouldn't have. Yeah, right now all I want to do is get this phone screen to light up so that I can trade it in. Hopefully everything works. Okay, let's see. Yep, that's where it's supposed to be. That's where it's supposed to be. Okay, now that part's done. That's the aggravating part. Okay, now one thing a lot of people don't know is you can upgrade your memory on this to a bigger memory, but there's a lot of stuff you got to have, and if I remember correctly from the video I watched, your chip is right here for your memory. So now let's see the home button. Now I know I've got a screw sitting here. Don't know what it came from because I put all my screws back. Go figure. Okay, yes, there was one more screw there, and that, or one more contact there, and that's for my home button. Interesting. Four holding that cover on. Case cover. Okay. So 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's that. Weird. Who knows? Okay, I do. Came out of that screw hole right there because those were all Phillips. And now the rest are the 3-points. So, like, what the heck? Okay, we're going to put all the 3-points there off to the side, separate from that Phillips. Go with me. Okay, there's that. Now, there is actually another pain in the butt. I hate these little pins they use. And of course they got one right in the center of the home button. I don't see how it holds the all that in, but that's what it does. Home button set up. Now that I got that loose, I will grab it with some tweezers. There's that. Now the interesting thing is, there we go, got it loose. The way they do this. Let's see if I can't get that to stay out of the way. I'm trying not to block your guys' view. No, I don't like that. It did not want to come up like it should. They put this stuff down with adhesive, all this board stuff. And it makes it harder for you to get everything loose. Okay, we'll take the metal backing plate loose too. That might help a little bit in getting everything loose. don't know why Apple has to make everything so hard to work on. Let me see. Maybe without my phone being on, y'all will be able to see the screen better. Yeah, that shows up beautiful. It's actually been taped so that I didn't cut myself while trying to use my phone. Okay, is that all those? It looks like it is. It's all the screws. Now, the metal plate should separate fairly easy. And it is, other than this one here. Not sure what that one does. Okay, nope, that doesn't do anything. Okay, it was just kind of an insulation. Okay, now, old screen, gone. That's what's missing out of that. So I will have to take some of those screws back out, but oh well. And of course, with nothing underneath it, so I gotta take that off too. I'm not sure why they did it like that, but that is literally what they did. Interesting. Now this is definitely a little different on some. Because looking at the way the everything goes together, it's almost like they expected something to be there. I don't like that, because that will be just my luck. That there is supposed to be something there. Well, don't feel anything, so I'm happy. They make these things so small. It's like, how the heck can they get this thing done? Okay, so those got to come out, so we'll get rid of the old one. I don't believe I did that to that phone. Or to that screen. I'll tell you what, with the case I've got on that phone right now, okay, I had it wasn't the exact same case, but it was a very similar case on on another phone. And I'll be damn. Come on. Okay. So how the heck does that come out as a home button? Okay. Now, here's the part I hate. I've got to pull it up on my other computer. And my keyboard, my desk is a mess. Got to put a new keyboard tray on it. Okay, let's see, where is the mouse? Okay, which mouse is it? I've got 3 mice hooked up to it, or 3 mice sitting here, and only one of them is the correct mouse. Okay, so it's not that one. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, good. Okay. This keyboard is a pain to use. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to log into that. Excuse me about that. A little itch. Okay. This phone is a pain in the butt. Now, okay. I was told you don't always have to replace the digitizer. That it can be pulled off fairly easy. I don't know. Okay, got that. Interesting. So that is the light panel right there that lights up. And yep. Okay. That came back. Came up, so let's get rid of that. Okay, now let's go into Firefox. What we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to be talking to you, and we're going to see what we can find out. Let's see, let's pull that over some. What the? Why the heck am I? Okay, that was weird. I didn't change anything. And yet, it changed over to something different. Okay, there we go. That's back. Okay, let's see what live chat says. Is anybody there for live chat even? I know somebody's watching. Is there anybody out there that wants to say anything? Okay, that didn't make sense. Okay. Now, I found a video on it. Found several of them at that. Okay, here's
with the bit. It's called tri-point.
There we go. Kind of funny.
Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video to show you how to change the LCD screen on the iPhone 7. So first you want to make sure your device is powered off. Next I'm going to use a screwdriver size 0.8. It's a pentalobe size 0.8, and we're going to need to remove these two screws.
Okay. Skip ahead.
So you get it down far enough where you can let's go ahead and remove that connector. Remove that connector. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. Get that up out of there.
Which is what?
So next, under this shield right here, there's two screws we're going to need to remove as well. It's holding this cable in here down, and this is a Phillips size 000. So you want to go ahead and remove those two Phillips screws. Next, we're going to use the tweezers and remove this shield right here.
Like I
Set
did.
it off with your screws. Next, you want to grab your plastic pry tool, and you can go right under this corner right here. Just carefully pry up that connector, and the whole screen comes out just like that. Now, since we pulled the screen off here, if you look on the edge here, there's some adhesive residue here. We'll want to go ahead and use the tweezers or something and get that all off of there. Once you get it started, it should peel right off. If this video was helpful to you, I would appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That would help me out a lot. So next, what we're going to want to do is use the Phillips screwdriver and remove these 6 screws all in here. Make sure to keep them all in the right order because they're different sizes. Now that you've removed all those screws, go ahead and lift up this shield. Careful because that front camera is hidden underneath it. Set that off to the side with your screws. Next, we'll just grab this speaker. Pull it right out of here, set it off to the side. Next, we'll need to use something carefully to remove this front camera assembly here. What I'm going to do is just sneak under this right here. This has a proximity sensor here. You can slide right under here. It has a zip holding it down. Just going to wiggle under there. Get that to pop up. Then move the front camera here. Next, we're going to need to get under these gold contacts right here. And you just start by this
Same
peg,
thing I did.
with this peg, and it just lifts off there. There's also adhesive under this part over here. So I'm going to try to show this the best I can. Just lift up there, slide under there. Sometimes this is stuck down pretty good, sometimes not too bad. And the whole assembly lifts up just like that. So this has the front camera, the proximity sensor, and the microphone for FaceTiming, etc. there. Now next, for the home button, we're going to need the tri-point screwdriver again. And we're going to need to remove
Turn you all around where you can see this, maybe. What he's showing.
In the right order when you take them apart. Next, we can carefully lift this off of here. Set it off with your screws. Next, we have to disconnect this connector right here. And you pretty much have to use something to hold the inner part down at the same time as you're prying up in the outer part. And you just flip that up like that. Basically, if you just pry up, it's loose like this, nothing holds it down. So you either just tear it off or something. So you need to have something thin that you can slip under the first layer while you're prying up on the second layer. So then next, we need to carefully slip under this little cable with something. It's just held down with strong adhesive. Just want to wiggle it around a little bit. Make sure that that's free to go. Then we just want to carefully push down. And the home button comes out just like that.
So that's what it was. See, that's why I pull up YouTube all the time. Because if I'm not sure about it, I need to know what it is. Okay, now back to that. Move that mouse out of the way a little bit further. Move that stuff out of the way. So I was, in a way, kind of right. Trying to get that up. It's just it don't like to come up very easy. They have that stuff glued down so heavily. Let's try getting this up under it maybe, because it's very, very thin. There we go. Just the very edge was glued down very well. And there it goes. And of course got tape all over it, holding it together. Okay, so okay. Now we'll get that out of there. And slide that through. From the front there. Okay, now let's make sure. Now move that back out of the way. We'll grab this, move it back up here. Get that down there. Okay, so that told me what I needed to know there. Okay, that's back on. Now, let us sit this back over that. So it holds that all down. Now comes the fun parts again. No, we ain't gonna put that on yet. I ain't quite ready for those yet. I'll get a couple of these in first. Now, he was saying these are some very, some of these screws are spot specific. So I don't know. We're going to get it in though. There we go. There's that one. Looking good so far. 2 screws in one. Okay, let's get this one here. Okay, let's see here. Now, this is the reason why I hate these small screws, because they're really small screws like this, because they're so hard to get a hold of. And with their size, they are very easily lost. Now that I got that in place, I'm going to loosen those back up just a hair, because I may have to shift that backing plate a little bit. Okay, let's see. Small Phillips. Screws are in the way. That's my small Torx. Yep. Now what I don't get is, where does a Torx bit come into play on this phone? I haven't seen it yet. Okay, I'm going to leave that a little loose while I get the other screws for the edges into place. Okay, what's going on here? Something is not quite right here. What is it? That there is not quite right. There we go. Now she's in. That didn't come all the way through. So that explains that. Yeah, we had one of our tenants earlier. Her heater wasn't doing right in her apartment. And it's just a wall heater, but it has a digital thermostat, one of those programmable ones. And from the looks of it, the thermostat was going bad. So fortunately, I had another one that was used, but it was still good. It came out of my apartment, but I upgraded to a touch screen instead of a button one. And didn't throw the thermostat away. I was going to keep it, and when we moved out, put it back in, because eventually I'm going to move out of this apartment. And I'm not giving the landlord anything nice for that from that apartment. I mean, he has been being a dick like you would not believe. He threatened to evict me for working on a car when all I was doing was adding oil. He said adding oil is the same as doing an oil change. And he tells me, oh, that's against the rules. No, it's not. If it is, provide me a copy of the lease that I signed showing that. And all he does is shows me a clause in a different lease that is not from my lease. He won't show me the whole thing because it's not what I signed, not what I agreed to. So I had to cuss him out, and he's really an idiot. He's money hungry, that's for sure. But what it is he's trying to come up with any reason he can to evict us so he can raise our rent by almost half. I mean, we're paying $1,200 a month, and he wants to go up to $1,700 a month in one hit. Dang it, I should have left that loose. Get at it? Yeah. I don't believe I left that like that. I forgot to pull it out. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. Okay, I'll pull this one back out. Too easy to screw up like that. I should be pulling the other screws back loose and doing this. I just don't feel like dealing with that anymore. So I'm just going to do like this. Catch the edge of it. There we go. Now I'll push that back down. There we go. Much better. And we will see what we can do here. There we go. Push that back down. Okay, everything looks good except for that one screw. It wants to go in crooked. Okay, now we're going to do a quick test of this and see if it works right. Okay, now let's see. Touch screen, get everything in the right position. So that we can get it all hooked back up. My little tweezers. For Christ's sake. Let's see here. There's that one. Now this is the hardest part right here. This last cable, because of where it is. I mean, it's like, come on, could you have made it any harder? Okay, that's in. Now let's do this. Get these lined up and in. Dang it, bleeding again. And I got blood all over the front of my screen. Sorry, guys. Okay, just hairs under there. Okay. Just have to. Do I have paper towel here? Yeah. glove on now, since I decided to break open and start bleeding. Oh, well, I guess I won't. Just put a glove on over that finger. Hey, when they do that. My boss, he's a small guy, so he's asked for some gloves, and he brings a box of medium put my password in. Okay, let's turn on Wi-Fi. Okay, it's on. There we go. Let's see what happens with my music. Pandora. Close out because it didn't connect to it. Pandora, come on. Okay, go into camera settings, switch cameras around. Camera's a little funny, or a little off, but still works. So I'm happy. Got lucky. Okay, so everything works. Which is a very, very good thing. We'll put all the last of the screws back in and be ready to go. That is just one heck of a deal. And really, I got everything, or got that fixed for what? Maybe, wow, it took me an hour to do that? Shouldn't have taken that long, but then again, I'm trying to make sure I do it right and had to fight with something that didn't make sense. Okay, let's see. Those three are my tri-point. Okay. There's the first screw. Okay, there's the second one coming in. Now, I'm gonna see, make a test on y'all and see if y'all can remember without going back. Okay, which one of these four screws right here was the oddball, the real long one? Oh, okay, I was hearing something, and that was my the automatic feeder for my fish tank. It's weird how it works. It don't just go around slowly as like a clock would. It sits still, and then every 12 hours or 24 hours, all of a sudden it kicks in and rotates a full revolution and stops where it started. So it would so it dumps out a certain amount of food. in there. These small screws I hate. But what can you do? Now, the iPhone 6, its battery is a little bit bigger than the iPhone 7 Plus's. Okay? But I mean, look at the size of this battery. Length and width. The width is about the same as an Android, but it's roughly twice the size of an Android battery. The 6 altogether is almost 3 times the size altogether, which is kind of crazy. But that's why the iPhone battery lasts so much longer than an Android. So that's a very, very good deal. Too bad the Android doesn't have that much space for a battery. Okay, last screw for that. Okay, now we will close that up again. Come on. Got little clips up here at the top edge that make it a pain. To get in place. There we go. Now it's going down. Come on now. Okay, now. You just don't want to cooperate. These tabs are just a hair too far down. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's weird how all this crud built up around the edge of this thing. Let's see what these screws are here. Are they Torx or are they the tri-tip? Okay. On the video, he was saying that these screws here are a tri-tip, but they are actually a Torx. Now this phone here, somebody had already picked my pocket once and stole my phone, so this is a refurbished phone already, so they may have put different screws in there. Come on, go in. Yes. Okay, so I need to order a screen protector, but I want to get rid of this phone, so I may not. I may go ahead and just get my new phone here in the next week or two and do the go from there with that. Okay. No SIM card, I know. Camera. Wrong thing. That camera works. Okay. Keyboard. I'll go back. I'll use my own. Everything works, so we're good there. That works. Everything seems to work. So I'm good there. We'll put the SIM card back in real quick, since it seems to want it. Okay, now I'm going to do a quick test. Yep, I got it on vibrate. We'll put it back on audio. That was my buddy, so everything's working. Okay, period. Just got my phone back together and back on. Period. So everything's working. Let me say I am pleasantly surprised. I'm going to take this stuff off here now. Get my case back on the phone. These cases are always supposed to come apart. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Nope, I guess not. Okay, fine. These OtterBox cases, they're supposed to be very good cases, but yet when I needed it the most, it has let me down. And not once, but twice. There we go. Back on. Boom, boom. Yes, I'm happy. Okay, so now y'all see what a pain in the butt it can be to change a touchscreen on a phone. But I would rather spend an hour, hour and a half doing that than spend $175 for somebody else to go and do it and send me another phone that's been refurbished. And God knows what was wrong with it in the first place. But, I mean, even now, this touchscreen looks better than it did when the phone was brand new, or when I got it. So my bet is they didn't even replace the touchscreen. They just checked it out, made sure everything worked, and sent it on out. So let's see what I'm going to do. One more quick test. Okay, we're going to go into the camera again. Video. This is a test. I repeat, this is a test. Now, I'm going to cover up the speaker down here, and that speaker should play it back when I go to play it. Okay, should have been playing out of the top, but I didn't see it, or didn't hear it. This is a test. I repeat, this is a test. Okay, I don't like that. It did not play out of that. Let me see, we'll do Pandora, because I know that usually plays out of both. Okay, so it's not playing out of the top speaker. That tells me something ain't lined up right. And I know what it is already. So, slide the power off. I already know what it is. And I'm not happy about it. And not much I can do at this point. I'm just not going to have my regular headset. That one cable that started separating on me, or I had separated, those pins probably aren't lined up right, and that will keep it from working right. Now let's see here. There we go. Not exactly the best, but it worked. Try these and see how they work. Okay, these are okay. I don't know what happened, but anyway. Other than that, this was a success. And I have a Bluetooth headset I can use, so that's not killer critical that it didn't come back on like that. I sure did expect it to do that too. Yep, that is what it is. Yeah, I kind of expected that. But beyond that, I guess I did good. Put that back in like that, and that one like that. Okay, for a first time doing that, I did pretty doggone good. I mean, iPhone, definitely not my phone of choice, for sure. And the only reason why I'm going to keep it right now is because I don't have the money to go pay the sales tax on a new phone right this second. Not when the sales tax is $130. I'll have it probably in another week or so. Okay, back on. Anyway, yeah, I kind of expected that issue with that freaking phone, but what can you do? And then another issue I have, okay, it's not the phone, but here a short time ago, I was given some old through-the-wall air conditioners from a motel. They work. They're supposed to be these high-efficiency air conditioners and all this good stuff. But they got this squirrel cage fan, you know, good 2 feet long almost. And I'm like, whatever, they're not too bad. But anyway, the heck? Now my touchscreen don't work. And it just worked fine. That was weird. Okay, let's see. See if it does. It comes out the top. Probably won't. I'm probably stuck without that speaker. And Pandora's being Pandora. Yep, I was right. Okay, let's try this. Voicemail. Yep. Okay, so I don't have my regular, I've lost my main speaker, but I do not care about that. I will just have to make do for a little bit longer. I can deal with the main speaker not working because the main speaker, I just wear my Bluetooth headset I've got. Not a bad deal. I'm just ready to be done with this thing. Okay, there we go. So that's what's going on there. No big deal. At least the screen I can see now what I'm doing. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Oh, back on the air conditioner thing. I set them up, set one up, got it working after I cleaned. I mean, it had the motel this came out of had a bad roach infestation, and been treating it for roaches and everything, and pretty much got rid of the roaches by the time I got those. But I brought them out back to my place, set them outside, and treated them for roaches. I mean, I sprayed super heavy. But anyway, all good and fine. Get one set up, bring it in, put it in the wall of my apartment. Ooh, I did cut myself worse than I thought. Damn. Anyway, turn it on, and it barely will move any air on the evaporator side. I'm like, what the heck? I'm looking closer, and the fan, the way it's designed, there's no way for it to pull air in to blow it out. It's just, it's made to disturb the air, that's all. So, of course, the coil freezes up, and it shuts off and defrosts the coil, and useless. There was one that was an oddball. It was designed, it would move the air. It was designed to do that. It actually designed to suck air through and blow it on out. But the guys who took it out and they took the original control panel off of it. And the original control panel was just an old switches and dials thing. Not like the new ones, which are all electronic. So I put that in there and used it. And got it set up and turned it on. And lo and behold, it too is acting up. Come to find out, the guys who took the old control panel off, they took one of the fan speed wires that goes on the control panel and put it where it didn't belong, somewhere else. And lo and behold, I go and I turn it on and didn't know it, didn't catch it actually, and burn up my motor. So that one's useless. It's been just sitting there now since that happened. Sitting in my wall, just filling in the hole. Okay, they all use the same case, so no big deal. I look at the first one I had started to install. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can modify this. So I went and left the end row of fins on the blades. They're aluminum. I took the next row of blades out. Cut those out. Okay. Hooked it up to just the fan itself to the to power, and hey, it works. It actually moves some decent air. So then I go ahead and skip one row, take out the next row of blades, and just leave only about 6 or 8 of the blades in place to hold everything together. And then I skip another row and go to the 6th row. Or 6th or the 5th, anyway. When I got done and I tried it, that thing moves a ton of air. It's actually designed now to move air. Now I have to make individual shields to catch that air and direct it up and out of the air conditioner. So that's going to be a fun one. But I'll get it figured out one way or another. So anyway, gotta get creative sometimes. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of my video, please, because that's my first "this is how I do it" video. And it was also a learning experience for me, and hopefully a learning experience for you. So y'all have a very good Christmas. Some people, I think they refer to Christmas as Kwanzaa. Whatever your culture calls the holidays. Okay? For my culture, for me, I was raised up calling Christmas Christmas. So that's what it's always going to be. But at the same time, if your culture doesn't call it Christmas, they call it something else. Call it what you want. Enjoy it. I hope it's a good one. I hope you get to spend time with all your family. And I hope you all get everything you want for the holidays. Me, my Christmas is going pretty decent. Got the Amazon Echo Dot. I swear this thing's only about that big around. I mean, not even maybe 4 inches across. And I played with it. I like it. Automatically, I've figured out what it can do as far as with not having bought any of the extras. Eventually, I want to have several. Have where I can shut off lights certain lights if I want, that kind of stuff. Just a step at a time. So, and everything's so expensive for that stuff. So, just what can I do? That was my gift for me, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I get different gifts, but that's one of the best gifts I've gotten, and it's only because I got it for myself, and normally I wouldn't do it. And it wasn't too bad on the price, $30 plus tax. And got the Google Home in the house also, or the Google Home Mini, I guess it is. It was the same price, $30. Not a bad deal, but I'm not too fond of Google, and it's not as sensitive as the Amazon Dot. I mean, that thing, I'm in the living room, I'm talking to somebody, and the activation words for the Dot are Alexa, or whatever it is. Alexa, do such and such. And I had quietened my voice down to a whisper when I said it. And this thing caught my whisper from a totally different room. So that's how sensitive it can be. And it'll only do what you need. And if something happens, you know, I can turn around. If it's an emergency, I can just say, Alexa, call 911, or, anything. At the same time, if you have the Amazon Echo Dot and you set up your account to where you can make calls and message people, you can do it through that. So it's actually kind of cool. There's all sorts. I mean, there's just so much. I can tell it to play Pandora Eagles Radio or Pandora Classic Rock station. Just about anything. I mean, you can be specific. It even has, I think it said, the TuneIn Radio app that you can use with it. You just tell it, Alexa, TuneIn Radio, such and such station. You know, I'm still learning all the details, but you can ask Alexa to tell you a Christmas joke, and she'll come up with some funny stuff. And it will, I swear, it will make you laugh. One of them was, what reindeer are dinosaurs afraid of? Which of the reindeer are dinosaurs afraid of? Was the question, I think. And the response is comet. Because it's believed a comet hit the Earth and caused dinosaurs to become extinct, supposedly. So it's just kind of funny that they did it like that. But it was one of the best deals I've gotten so far, so I am definitely enjoying it. And y'all have a good one.